Hello, 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 and welcome back to Let's Talk, the Elevated Brand Podcast. I am your host, Angelia Malbrew, and I just wanted to let you know you are in the right place at the right time. The Elevated Brand Podcast is all about dedicated to helping you to build a brand that stands out, resonates with your audience, and ultimately feels like a success. Today, we're diving into a hot topic. It's increasingly important for businesses of all sizes to be sustainable and use ethical branding. So, let's just dive right on into it. In today's world, consumers are often making choices with conscience. There was only a few years ago that I feel that being a conscious spender, being a conscious buyer became something that was uber important for most purchasers and buyers because people do want to support brands that align with their values. I know for me, I always look for ways businesses are impacting the environment. Do they have animal cruelty patterns or behaviors or practices that they ultimately use when it comes to the way they source their products or the way they handle business? So there are so many ways that we can look for ways to be conscious about our spending habits and our behaviors. So you want to support brands that are meaningful and that make an impact to you. So the question then becomes, how can you integrate sustainability and ethics into your brand narrative? And also, how do you connect these with discerning customers? So I think it's a good time today to break it down. First of all, let's define our terms. Sustainability and ethical branding goes beyond just using recycled materials. Um, Although it's a great place to start, it's all about considering the environment, social impact, the way things impact everything around you, your entire business operation, from sourcing materials to production to practices, and also labor conditions. Because a lot of the big name companies that we are familiar with, if you go and research the ways that they actually do business, you would be shocked at their labor conditions, the way they treat their employees. Like everything is important. So when we're looking at big names and labels and luxury designers, not all but some definitely have business operations that I'm sure you wouldn't be okay with if you knew the ins and outs of how they ran their business. So it's all about building a brand that's not just profitable but also responsible. And I guess you're asking, Angelia, why does this even matter? Well, several reasons. Number one, you want to make sure that you are being a sustainable and ethical brand for a few reasons. Consumer demand. When you have conscious consumers, they are actively seeking out brands that share their values. For instance, like I was sharing earlier, that depending on the way a company does business, it will determine if I do business with them. I don't like companies that advocate for animal cruelty. And you're not going to see them out here saying, oh, let's kill the animals. But if their brand model is animal skin things, then where do you think that's coming from? So I look at all of that stuff, even when I'm looking at places that I eat, because I don't eat pork, I don't eat beef or anything like that. I am definitely making my way toward being a vegan. And so what I eat, what I put in my body is very important. Being a cancer survivor makes you rethink everything that you eat and you put in your body. It definitely changes your life. But I feel that by taking the time to embrace sustainability and ethics, you get an opportunity to tap into a growing market segment. Also, brand reputation. A strong commitment to sustainability and ethics builds trust, and it also enhances your brand reputation. People want to do business with people and companies that they feel good about supporting. If you're doing something for the planet, or you're donating things to the homeless when people shop with you, or you're giving back to a nonprofit organization that maybe, helps women that have been in domestic violence situations, or even men, because sometimes, men can also go through domestic violence situations. So being in alignment with brands that are conscious about giving back and doing the right thing, it has to make you feel good. And the next thing is long term success. Sustainable business practices can definitely save you money in the long run. You'll reduce waste by lowering your environmental footprint. I decided to purchase an EV, electric vehicle, back in 2021. And I feel that was the best decision I made, not just because of the carbon footprint that I was helping to eliminate, but also because I wanted to not use gas. I didn't want to use gas cars anymore. I'm uh, really trying to be mindful of the things that I do and the impact that I have on our planet, because we only get one. We don't get another planet. So we have to take care of this one. And we have been doing a horrible job at taking care of our planet. And so that was one thing that I wanted to do. And also, it saved me a ton of money. While I do not agree with a lot of the business practices that the owner of the company that I purchased my vehicle from, and I'm not going to shout him out here because this is not a paid endorsement, but I will say purchasing the vehicle that I purchased has been an amazing experience for me. It eliminated all the maintenance costs that I had with any gas car that I ever had. I don't have to purchase gas. All I have to do is, plug my car up and make sure that, I keep good windshield wiper blades and tires on my car. Living in Arizona, you learn that those things are, oh, and also a good 12-volt battery. Those things are known to have a short lifespan here in Arizona because it's so hot. But it made me feel good to support that brand. So when you think about that, it really helps you to put yourself in a position for a future where regulations and market trends are good. So just think about how you can do that. And so I guess you're asking me now, well, Angelia, how can I take action with this? So here's what I've been thinking about. So when I was creating my content for my podcast today, I thought about a few ways that you could take to take your business and your brand to the sustainable and ethical parts of your journey. One, transparency is key. You need to be upfront about your supply chain, your materials that you're using, production practices. Do you even know how people are making those items that you're selling your clients if you're not making them yourself? Just think about all of those things and consider making a change if they're not in line with what you see for your business and your business model. For me, I know when I decided to launch my handbag and my photography bag line, and if you have not purchased your handbag or photography bag for me, make sure you do at angeliamarie.com. And I decided I didn't want to use leather. I wanted to use a vegan leather because I was totally against animal cruelty. So using a vegan leather was more in line with my beliefs, more in line with my business practices and what I wanted to see my brand be going forward. So that's what I decided to do. So everything with my products is vegan leather. I don't I don't I don't like to consume animal products, and I definitely don't like to have them, wear them, use them in my life, in my business, and I'm not going to sell them to my clients either. Another thing you can do is consider to embrace green practices. Look for ways that you can minimize your environmental impact. This could include a lot of things, like, for instance, when you're getting your water, where unless you're getting a well water from some source. I miss that so much. That's one of the things that I miss when I grew up in Mississippi, is that being able to go to the wells where they had well water. Oh my gosh, those were the best days of our summer. Not just the hose water, because you're from the country, you already know. Um, but going to a well where they had fresh, clean water with not all of this stuff, like it was from the earth. It was the best water. Like we weren't getting sick like we are now. I miss that so much. But the last time I was in the area, I think they had put a cap on it, so they stopped people from getting it, and it was free. So I wish they would bring things like that back, because we have contaminated our water, we've contaminated our foods, and we have to look for ways to continue to make more of a positive impact on our environment. You could also think about ways to recycle. You could reduce packaging. Um, for instance, I know like when I order things from like Amazon or somewhere, and I see that my items are going to come on different days. A lot of times I'll opt to have only one, unless it's something that I like really need quickly. I will opt to get one delivery versus having, them come 3 or 4 times a week. So that's another way you can reduce your carbon footprint. You also want to think about being a champion for social responsibility. Are you supporting fair labor practices, ethical sourcing, or giving back to the community? Like I love to give back to the community in more ways than one. I like to put myself in a position where I can be a resource for people when needed, because a lot of people just don't know where to go. They don't know where to start to give back or to do things. So if you have questions about giving back or how you can commit to being a support in your local community, make sure you reach out to me. I have a lot of resources and I would love to give you that information. I want you to also think about, don't just say it, show it. You have an opportunity to create a new narrative for your audience. You can use storytelling to showcase your sustainability and your ethical initiatives in a genuine and relatable way. And you would be surprised how many people will connect with you when you start showing those things and you start letting them know that, I care about this too. And my business is all about reducing our carbon footprint. It's all about lowering the waste and, cleaning up our oceans and making sure we have a clean, healthy area, at our job. We're not just throwing trash everywhere. It's so many things that you can do to make a difference. So just consider one of the things that I've given you today. Also, product innovation. Consider developing products with a focus on environmental and social impact, like I did. I love so much being able to do my part to contribute to having a environment that we can live and breathe in. So consider ways you can do the same. Also, take a look at a few brands that are really sustaining and using ethical business practices. Patagonia, for example, they are a leader in using recycled materials and advocating for environmental protection. The Body Shop champions ethical sourcing and fair trade practices are just a couple of companies, other than myself, that are paving the way to do the right thing. Now, will you have challenges? Absolutely, but there are always solutions. So, to every challenge, think about a way that you can create a solution. Um, I remember hearing that on Shark Tank a while ago. A lot of the companies that have made it big, it wasn't something that was like rocket science. It was actually something that was actually just a solution to a problem. So, it's so many ways you can use what you're going through right now to build a better tomorrow. There are challenges associated with everything. So when you're thinking about implementing sustainable and ethical business practices, don't think you're going to be, invincible to that, because you won't. Sometimes it might require a little bit more money of an investment. You may have to navigate a few complex supply chains to get to where you need to be. Because I know for me, I actually released a few companies from their duties with working with me once I found out the way they were operating and doing business. And it's okay to keep moving around until you find a good fit. Because at the end of the day, this is your business, your brand, and your name is on it. So you want to make sure what you're doing is something that you can ultimately be proud of if someone pulls back the curtain. So don't worry about overcoming consumer skepticism, because that's going to happen. You're going to have some people that are for it, some people won't care, and some people are going to be against it. It's everywhere you go. You can't run from it. But what I will tell you is that these challenges can be addressed if you do your best with taking the time to do your researching, and partnering with sustainable suppliers can help you tremendously. So transparency builds trust with customers. Don't forget that. Utilizing resources from organizations like Sustainable Apparel Coalition is another company that can provide valuable guidance, because they do that all the time. So, I wanted to leave you with a few takeaways. I wanted to also keep this podcast today short and sweet, but I also want to leave you, as always, with some takeaways for you that will help you to make a better tomorrow. First thing, be authentic. Focus on your genuine efforts that align with your brand values. Don't greenwash your audience, but do what you're supposed to do the right way. Think about long term commitment. When you're building a sustainable and ethical brand, it is a journey. It is not a destination. So you're continuously changing, just like you should always be continuously changing your business to build better. Build a better tomorrow starting today. Communicate openly. Keep your audience informed about your progress and challenges. And always, always, always be open to feedback, and make sure you're willing to adapt accordingly. So, here's the thing: sustainable and ethical branding is no longer a niche concept, it is becoming the new standard for success. So, by taking action today, you can build a brand that resonates with conscious consumers, thrives in the long run, and also makes a positive impact on the world. For our listeners who want to learn more about sustainable and ethical branding, I will also include some helpful resources in the notes. I'm so grateful that you guys stuck around to be a part of this podcast today. Thank you so much, always, for supporting me the way you do. If you have not heard about the new Elevate Your Brand package, I don't know where you have been, but we have developed our new and improved Elevate Your Brand packaging for personal branding, business owners, and those that need a brand refresh, and those that want to take their business and brands to the next level. I took the time to add everything that was important to business owners, everything that I'd heard, all my feedback that I've gotten by asking other people that didn't do a brand shoot with me, because it's always important to get feedback and get surveys to find out how you can make your business better. So I listened to what they said, and I took all of that information, and I found a way to implement that into our new Elevate Your Brand package. If you have not booked a free consultation for that, make sure you do that. You can go to theelevatedbrand.com in order to book your free consultation. It will take probably about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on your business, in order for us to break down your business, how I can help you, if we're a good fit, and also the best things that I can do to help you to elevate your brand. I'm so grateful for everybody that sticks around and that has been supportive of me and my brand. And I say this every video because I am. Every podcast, I say that because I am very, very, very grateful for you all. Thank you for always believing in me. Thank you for supporting me. I love you guys so very much. And I'll go ahead and wrap this up today in under 20 minutes. So may the Lord watch between me and thee while we're absent one from another. And I pray God continues to shine his blessings, his grace, and his mercy on you, your family, and everybody connected to you. Thank you for being the best part of Angelia Malbrook Photography and the new Elevated Brand. I look forward to speaking with you guys and hearing from you soon. Have a great day.